The morning of his death, in trying to find out what happened, the only thing we really understood is that he'd fallen out of bed. It was clear to us that he'd had some injuries because he was in a collar and he had bandages on his forehead and he had a open gash on his nose. In my meetings immediately afterwards, in the family room, the meeting room there, it was never really divulged to me that what had actually happened to him medically, other than his passing. And so we were kind of in the dark as to the cause of, other than he fell out of bed. Most people respect and like honesty. That's our nature, I think, as people. It's okay to say to a person, and whether it's a touch on the arm or a pat on the back or, just to lean forward into that person's face and look at them saying, you know what, you're probably looking for a whole bunch of answers. I can't give them to you. Right? So that's probably a better position to sit back and say, well, we think, or, this happened, or the doctors were really, I don't want to hear it. Don't want to hear it. I would rather you say to me, I can't tell you what happened. We will look into it, and then move on and deal with that individual at that moment in time, because now, they need support. There are times where sorry falls on deaf ears or it's empty, but I think people still need to hear it, and they'll still rant and rave at you, but that really helps me a lot that you're sorry, but, right? But saying it is still important, and I think where it comes from, who says it, and how it's said, also has meaning. I think that's where some training is important, because the right kind of person will sit back and say, okay, this is probably not the right time to say I'm sorry, right? And you'll hold it back, right, until you feel that moment is right. But I think it still has to happen. Where I felt some degree of support was when I did escalate it to senior staff in the hospital, and there were certain members of that staff who were empathetic. They looked at it and said, we're terribly sorry, and we are going to look into this, and we are going to do something about it, and I will keep you informed as to what we're doing about it, and I'll share reports with you so you can see that people are going to change. We're going to look at protocols. So that made me, as a fixer, feel good that was being done. It was also on a very personal level. It was done one-on-one, and so it was very, very good.